Hey, how are y'all doing? This is SolSista Therapy Childhood Trauma Podcast. How are you ladies doing today?
Hey.
Can you hear us, Queen Misha? Can you hear us?
I think that
Hear us?
mine.
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
I'm hearing you in that slow motion voice again.
Oh, we was just talking. We was just chilling, talking about, you know what I'm saying, songs and whatnot, and now you want to act up? Whatever. Can you still hear us? Are we still sounding robotic?
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna log off and try to get back on.
Okay. All right. Well, this is SolSista Therapy Childhood Trauma Podcast. I am your host, Plum Queen.
I'm Taquita.
Our other host. And when Queen Misha come on here, she can, introduce herself as well. But you guys, we're here to heal. We're here to tackle, these hard topics. So we can be better. Here she is. Queen Misha, can you hear us? Oh.
The slow mo voice.
Still slow mo voice. I don't even know what to tell you to do. Well, I tell you what, you're gonna figure all that out, and I'm just going to, try to get this started, and it's gonna work out. We're gonna sprinkle some of this energy on there. You know what I'm saying, to get her devices to get popping and whatnot. But today, what we wanted to do was start getting into these specific types, of childhood traumas. Okay. So of course, you can truly only speak about the things that you experience. So I figured, we can tackle the things that we experience. And then later on in the series, we will have some other people. Hopefully, we'll have some other brave souls that can come on in and share their stories. So we can tackle all these things. I saw Queen Misha, but she's not. All right, it's gonna work out. So, me personally, abandonment and neglect, is my experience with childhood traumas. Do I still sound like a robot, Miss Misha? I'm gonna say that's a no, that you can't hear me. I'm gonna take
It's
that.
not yet. It's still in slow mo voice, so
All right, I tell you what, I'm gonna try to cue you in when it's your time to talk. It's gonna work out. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. Did you hear that? You smiling, so I'm gonna take that as a half yes.
if you could just hear what you sound like right now, that's where you'd be rolling. Um,
That's all right. That's all right. Okay, so I'll just, I'll start, and it'll commence when it's time for you to talk, because we can hear you clearly. You sound great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm gonna restart my phone. Okay.
All right. Do your thing. All right. Okay, so with me with abandonment issues, I would have to say it started off with actually having a good childhood. From the ages of birth until 9, it was just me and my mom. Now I lived in a family, I lived in a 5 bedroom apartment with, with other family members, but it was just us. When my mom had me, from my understanding, speaking to her, she dealt with a lot of childhood traumas, of her own. And, in her mind, as a 18-year-old girl, she felt that having a baby was going to be the thing. I was going to love her. I was going to give her the love, that she wasn't getting at home. So she doted on me, and me being the first grandchild, I got a lot of love and I got a lot of attention, saying pretty much from everyone because I was the only child. So the first 9 years of my life, everything was all about me. My mom at the time, we were in religion. So, for her understanding, going to church was the best thing to be and the best thing to do, to make make her a better person so she could be a good example for me. So she lived the straight and narrow, all that good stuff. So we had an amazing relationship. She was my best friend. I was always comfortable with speaking to her about things, coming to her about everything. Then she got older. By the time I got around 9, I guess that straight and narrow, start to get a little crooked. She met her husband, who she is still with, and he changed her religion, changed her way of thinking. We moved from where we were. She changed her name, all these things. And she did all that because now she realized that I wasn't giving her the love that a woman desires or a woman needs or wants. Yes, I love her unconditionally. I depend on her and listen to her, and she guides me, but I can't hold her at night. I can't kiss it away. I can't put that thing on her. Like a man can. It's what it is.
Right.
As a woman, I understand that now.
Right.
My mother loves me, and I can go to her and talk to her about anything. She prefers that. She would prefer me to tell her all my business. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And for the most part, I do. For the most part, I do. But it don't. But my man hit different. You know what I'm saying? He ain't even got to say nothing to me. He just got to do some things, and you know what I'm saying? That change the whole mood and the whole energy of the situation. It's just something
Right.
about that opposite energy.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see if we can bring her. Yes, come on, you can hear me. Hey, all
Hey,
right.
hey.
Awesome.
Yes, yes, yes.
Right. So yeah, so she started to realize that, I can't give her, that type of love. And as a human being, you're going to search for that. And that's what he was giving her. So her being young and trying to and not really knowing what love looks like, because again, she grew up in an abusive home. My grandparents had a very toxic, physical abusive relationship. So she was trying to finagle, her happiness, and raising me. And she wasn't taught how to do that. Because she never saw what that looked like. So she absolutely did her best. Me and her have had conversations, and I know for a fact that none of anything that affected me was never malicious. I know my mom did not set out to abandon me, to neglect me, and I'm sure throughout life, she didn't even look at it that way. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
powerful to be able to recognize that.
Absolutely. Like that's why a lot of people don't understand, especially my family don't get. They think that I be trying to judge them, and they don't understand. No, like I just truly have been looking at our family and what they went through, the whys. Why do they do what they do? So I can be a better me and understand. When you understand something, it's not to say that you got to co-sign it or you know what I'm saying or deal with it, but it gives you a level of peace. It takes away the anger when you understand why somebody does something. It's just like you. It's just like you blaming somebody with mental issues for doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, they're not in their right mind.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they did it. It was wrong, and they need consequences for it. But I'm not just going to be put a lot of negative energy around that situation when I know, what I'm saying, it wasn't on. It's not on purpose, or it couldn't be helped. You know what I'm saying? So I totally understand that. But what she needed to understand is that it did because you took it took my security away from me. You see what I'm saying? Because I always knew if I asked my mom for something, it was going to get done. You know what I'm saying? I knew if I needed something, I was going to have it. But now it wasn't just me. Now it was her husband, two other females, several children. So again, she wasn't just purposely, not giving me things, but she now had to spread herself so thin because, she's trying to maintain a relationship. And she felt that those are the things that she needed to do, what I'm saying, to maintain it. So, and in her mind, she thinking that I'm good. I take care of you. You got a roof over your head. You go to school. You're great. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, you don't have as many issues as the other people that she felt that she was helping. So she just felt like I'm Gucci. So I have enough to give. So I don't need that because I have this type of stability. Not understanding from my perspective, nah, you're taking from me now. And what I'm saying, I was cool with having siblings and all of that. I actually took that very well. But I wasn't expecting, what I'm saying, to have to give up certain things or to lack in certain ways, at least in my from my perspective, what I'm saying, because you feel like everyone else needs it more than I do. Do you see what I'm saying? So that bothered me a lot. Now, on the flip side of it, it's made me the independent woman that I am, which was the purpose.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I was supposed to stand on my own 2 feet because I was very codependent on my mother. I would follow her. My idea was until I got married, I was gonna live with my mom. I had no issue with that. You know what I'm saying? My mom was cool. She let me have boyfriends in the house. I can do my thing like a grown up, and what I'm saying, still pay my little rent because there's a lot of parents. I don't care how old you are. You can be 50. But if you and that individual is not in holy matrimony, you're not allowed to have sexual type situations going on in their house. There's a lot of parents that feel that way, and they're gonna go to their grave feeling that way. You know what I'm saying? My mama was cool. You know what I'm saying? I started having sex at 18, so whenever I had a steady boyfriend, she let him come through, let him live with us, and all that stuff. So mama was cool. You know what I'm saying? She was cool with game. I ain't even gonna front. She's cool. You know what I'm saying? But I needed to be able to stand on my own 2 feet. And I also understand that about my relationship now. That's why I don't have a conventional relationship because it's a part of my purpose to stand on my own 2 feet. The universe left both of them. So I got to make sure that not to say that I'm not going to get help, but I have to at all times understand that I got to stand on my own 2 feet, regardless, because other people got their own lives. People got things, their own journey. My mama, my man, if I have children, one day they're going to have their own journey. And I have to be responsible for mine, like they're
Hmm.
responsible for theirs. So that was, what I'm saying, the purpose of the neglect or the abandonment that I felt. I had to learn the hard way, unfortunately, how to stand on my own 2 feet. You know what I mean? So this is why now I got one arm and I can move around. I can go out of the country by myself and won't have a care in the world. I am not scared at all. You know what I'm saying? Because, she just kind of put me on out there. It was a lot having to juggle me, him, businesses and stuff like that. So she needed me to grow up. She
I
needed me to
explain.
be able to take care of myself in certain ways because she had to take care of other stuff.
Yeah,
You see
I
what I'm
explain.
saying? So
Um,
that's kind of how that's pretty much my story for the most part, and up until I want to say the last couple of years I have still dealt with that because even after losing my arm I felt lost my arm, so maybe some of that's going to change, but no, because I took this shit so well. I mean, everybody felt like, oh, all right, nah, she good, so you can handle that and do this, is that, and the third, and you want not understanding, like, yeah, I could do it. You know what I'm saying? But it will definitely be a whole lot more sufficient. You know what I'm saying? If I had some help, you know what I mean? I ain't asking for much. But yeah. So those are the things that used to bother me and how I felt abandoned, even though I was with my mother at all times. You know what I'm saying? There's levels to that. A lot of people that feel that they have abandonment issues because their parent wasn't there. Like my father wasn't in the picture, but I do not have abandonment issues where he's concerned. Now that I'm an adult, I'm actually glad that he didn't raise me. because he has a lot of mental issues on that side of the family. I don't think had he raised me, I would have taken this the way that I did. I
Mhm.
think that DNA would have triggered in me, and I possibly, you know what I'm saying, wouldn't be me if that was the case. So I do believe that his purpose was just to make me, create me, whatever juice, juju he had going on, mixing with my mama's juju. You know what I'm saying, is what created fabulous me. So that's what was needed, and that was his only purpose. You know what I mean? So I grew up without a father, and being okay with that because my mom gave me so much for the first 9 years of my life, and that's why it felt like I was abandoned because it's like, damn, I was special to the motherfucker. Now it's kind of like I ain't shit. It's kind of how it feels. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? It's like, because you're the strong one. So here, all the baggage. Here, all the load. Because everybody else too fragile. Everybody else too sensitive. They can't take it. But you can take it. You can take all the shit because you strong. That shit used to annoy the fuck out of me. Cause like, what you mean? I know I'm strong, but I'm still human. So when I get to make mistakes too,
Mm-hmm.
ain't I supposed to learn?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's pretty much my experience with abandonment issues and how I've grown to learn differently and understand the purpose of it. So there's a purpose for everything that you go through.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I am now interpreting it, and it's brought me a lot of peace, and it's actually brought me to the space where I can share this and what I'm saying, help other people. So I love my mama. Me and my mama cool, it's all the good stuff, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Me and my stepdad, we cool too. Like, I'm gonna put it on out here. One of these days, me and him are gonna have a real good conversation, whether he knows it or not. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna have some understandings that need to be understood. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna come because everything him and I have ever gone through is all for a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Whether he sees the purpose or not, or whether he likes the purpose or not, has all been for a purpose. And I'm grateful for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So how y'all feel about it? I know y'all dealt with other stuff, but you know what I'm saying? How do y'all feel about abandonment? Have y'all experienced any of that or know people who have experienced that?
I
Yes.
certainly had
Yeah.
experienced a level of it, um, because my mother was young, and so she, I was born, but then not even a year later, I had my little brother, then another little brother, so we were all kind of close in age. But my mom was also a very hardworking woman, and so she and valued her love life, and so having to split my time up between my siblings and then her work life and then her love life, um, and then her social life, and then her being a mom. Like, I kind of had the same upbringing when it comes to learning to be very independent and self-sufficient at a young age, just because I knew my mom had so much other stuff to do. And so that definitely resonates. And like you said, the purpose was, understanding that at all times I need to, be able to have myself rather than relying on someone else to have me. And so it's powerful that you were able to get those lessons and understand them. And that's really the key to all of this, is that you recognize what your traumas are and you understand and feel the emotions behind them, but then that you also look for that purpose, behind it, and the reasoning of why you went through it. Because when you're able to find that answer, then you're able to come to peace with it. It doesn't bother you as much because you're able to see why you went through it, and it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How
Yeah.
about you, Mr. Quita? Yeah, I just saw that. My
Um,
bad.
yes, I definitely had some abandonment issues. I think my introduction to abandonment issues would have been with my biological father. Um, I know we're not talking about this subject today, but um, the stuff that I went through, and because my mom and my dad were not together, I don't think they ever really were together. So Of course, my mom got married to my stepdad, and that's who I had as a father figure. But it was just a lot of, physical, emotional abuse going on in the home, and it was at the hand of him, with not just my mother, but my siblings. So my abandonment issue came in where I felt like my father was not my hero. I wanted my dad to come in and take me away from that situation, and because he knew, like, he was full aware of what was going on, and I feel like that's what started my abandonment issues, not having my father there, and that trickled down to me dealing with my kid's father and just other relationships that I've dealt with men, um, and kind of having this codependency, having being afraid to let go of situations that I know is now becoming toxic and unhealthy for me, because um, just trying to hold on to something because I didn't have that, that male figure or that love that I felt that I should have gotten from my father. And they say that that's the your parents is the ones who first teach you how to love, whether it's a male or female. So when you don't have a healthy description or relationship of that to kind of go off of, you start to kind of create these like karmic cycles and these karmic relationships and things like that. And you just kind of keep going until you learn the lesson, and you kind of like reflect on that and be like, okay, well, okay, I see why now I'm having these issues, or I'm going through these things. I see why I'm so attached, and I have this codependency issue because I am attaching myself to toxic, negative stuff because this is what I've seen growing up. So out of fear of that somebody will leave me and someone won't be there for me, you hold on for dear life. It's like you're being drugged through the mud, but you're still holding on and hoping that they'll stay around because that's what you wanted your father to do. You wanted your dad to come to rescue. You wanted your dad to be there. So that's where my abandonment issues come into play. But I'm glad that I don't regret any of the experiences I've been through, like with, my relationships or connections with men, because it helped me to realize and kind of put two and two together and be like, okay, I understand now why I have this codependency issue, why I'm so attached to these toxic situations, because I'm scared of being alone, or I fear that somebody's going to leave me, or someone doesn't care. You know what I'm saying? Because that's kind of how I felt. Like my dad just didn't give a f. Like I just felt like he didn't care. Because it's like, if you cared, why didn't you do anything? Why didn't you step in? If you knew this was going on. But then it also helped me with my kids. You know what I'm saying? Me being the mother, I completely did the opposite. I refuse to put my kids in a situation like that, because I know how it feels. So of course I'm always available to my kids, mentally, emotionally, whatever you need me, I'm there, because I know that feeling like you don't have anything. And in spite of, like, the the differences or the ups and downs that I've had with my kid's father, I put that to the side because I want them to have that relationship with their father, because I know I've never had that. So I want them to have that, even if it's craziness with me and him, I want you to be, I want you to have that. So yeah, it's taught me a lot, but that's where my abandonment issues stem from. And yes, I've met a lot of people who have that as well. Like even encountering, the opposite sex, men in relationships who have abandonment issues, whether it's from their mother or, a parent or something like that, and not having them there. So they fear certain things, and, they form unhealthy attachments, and they have toxicities and things like that. So it's just like a cycle of stuff. And I feel like I feel like the answer to it, or the resolution to it, is, admitting that you have it, and then working on yourself and looking in the mirror and saying, okay, I know I have this, I know this has been affecting me and my other relationships. How can I overcome this? Look inside you, and you just got to heal that inner child. You got to heal that inner child. And once you do that and you start loving on yourself, then it makes it easier for you to be able to give that love to others.
Absolutely. I gotta do that again. I be trying to make sure nothing background music because I live in a building with other people, so I can't. And I live down south, so they just got a thing where they got to bump their cars to 1,000, and you
Right.
sound like I'm right outside instead. So I don't want to interrupt you. But we have a viewer who
Funny.
said something. Wayne Jackson said the only
Yeah.
trauma in childhood is reflecting on that negative time and on actions. Remember to do a daily check of your sanity by thanking the Most High you're not going through those things, and don't reflect or allow those things to overwhelm your thoughts. Hug and love the people that hug and love you. That
Amen.
is a fact. I
Yes,
said
I
that.
love that, Wayne.
That is so true.
Exactly.
All right.
Because that's what a lot of people get caught up in, like it's we have to learn the emotional detachment
Mhm.
behind telling our stories, because if not, we could be triggered. Or it's a lot of people who work in a line of work that triggers them as much as the people or the things, situations they dealing with. And so making sure that when we're like, especially like I've had to do this self-check for myself. Like I want to talk about my traumas, but I don't want to live in the emotions of those traumas. When I'm telling these stories, when I'm telling my experience, I want to make sure that I'm doing it logically rather than getting myself worked up emotionally, and then we get off and I'm over here in the funk or in my feelings. And so that emotional detachment behind those events are very important to where you can solely just go back enough to tell the overall experience and the lessons from it, because you can't look back and forward at the same time. And so when you're looking back, you are actually visualizing those events happening
You are.
and living in those emotions right then and there as you're telling the story. And so it's so important to be able to have that emotional detachment, when you're sharing your stories or when you're listening to someone's story, that it's not triggering us to the point to where we now are in a funk or having to, figure out
What
why
is
am I
going
feeling
on?
this way.
I can't say.
Flashbacks,
I need to
exactly,
heal
Jazz.
myself
It's
now.
so
Now I
important.
need to just step out of here and be
Let me
great.
go take a
Yeah,
breather.
right. I can take. Well, that's one of the reasons why I'm saying I started these things, because I've gotten to, it's like once I get to a level, I'm saying, of peace in situations, I feel like I want to share that. I feel like now it's time, and
Mhm.
spirit definitely, urges me to speak about it, because I'm an emotional person. So if I'm talking about something, what I mean, that it really touches me or I'm passionate about, I'll get to crying. And it doesn't mean that I'm actually reliving it or, still in those feelings. It's just, I, passion is the only thing I can come up with. I don't know. I need to start my own language and make my own words up, and whatnot. It's just that I feel those feelings, in that moment, but I
In
don't
real
allow
time.
it to overtake, my whole persona or how I see it. I feel it, but it's not my perspective. It's just almost like at being at a funeral. I look at death differently than most people. Death is an illusion. You don't actually die. You just leave this. This is just your body is just a vessel. This ain't, who you are is truly inside of you. So once this body is done, you go somewhere else. Now, how I believe, if you do what you're supposed to do while you're here, you're gonna go on and do what you're supposed to do. If you don't, you got to come back and do that shit again. So it's pretty much just a cycle. So yeah, you never die. You got to just bring your ass on back and learn them same lessons. So that's how I see death. But when I go to a funeral, I cannot leave that place without crying, because I feel everybody's energy, all of y'all crying, and I can feel the anguish and all that stuff. So I can't
Mhm.
help, what I'm saying, but feeling, what I'm saying, but cry right along with you, even though I know, especially if it's my family member, I already know I'm about to do this ritual and I'm about to highlight, light these candles, and I'm about to talk to them in a hot second when I get home by myself. Even though I know that, I can't help but cry. I can't still help but cry. So that's
And
kind
that's
of,
part of being an empath.
and you know what? For a long time, I wasn't sure if that's what I was, because when
That's
I hear
definitely what
stories
that
about
is.
empaths, nah, you could just be walking down the street in crowds, and you could
Feel
just
their
feel
energy.
a person. Yeah, it don't. I ain't gonna
Oh,
sit here and lie like, nah, it don't be like that. And I be around
definitely
people a
like
lot.
that.
I could be at the mall. Matter of fact, I be zoned the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? I have my earpieces on and I just be doing my thing. As a matter of fact, I change the mood when I go into
Right.
places,
It's muted. That's
kind
what you're
of thing.
supposed to do.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I don't really. I can't say that I walk by a person and I just and then all of a sudden I'm serious, y'all laughing.
Correct.
I've never had that experience, so I can't. I ain't gonna sit
You
here
look like a
and
Karen when you did that. You look like a straight up Karen, just minding other people's
like,
business.
yeah,
And you're right. That's exactly the
my
energy.
experience. I don't know what that's like, but
She
like
said a lot of people said,
funeral is the best. Is the best. Thing I did. Like when I watch movies, it doesn't matter what it
girl,
is.
I
If
be
if you,
tired.
I can feel them cat. That's why, yeah, you deserve that
Yeah.
Oscar. You deserved it because I feel it.
Yeah.
That's I guess it's different types of empaths. I'll have to
Mhm.
figure out.
Definitely.
It's why I don't like the isms. I don't like the isms and the Aryans. Saying different types of. I don't be liking none of that.
I
I
don't know
just
any different types of empaths, girl. I just know you're an empath. Like, cause
okay, cool. All
I feel
right,
like
cool,
we
cool.
could all be empaths
But
because,
I appreciate my empathicness because that sounds kind of crazy to just be walking by random people and feeling them. I can see why some people are just antisocial and want to be over there with it
right,
because I probably would feel the same way if that
right.
was the case. But I don't. I never had that experience.
And that's why
But
it's that plus intuition. When you can hone in on your empathic abilities plus your intuition, like there's very few times you're gonna really allow yourself to be in a situation where you like, dang it, how did that happen? Because like you're on guard. Like we be on guard. We already know what's gonna happen with each individual that we
Yeah.
come into contact with within seconds of being in their presence. Like, you know when somebody ain't no good and
Mhm.
when someone has good intentions for you. So
Yeah,
I yeah, very grateful for the empathic abilities.
girl.
facts, facts. Now
Yeah.
I do have one more example of how as you guys were talking, I thought about this dynamic. And we have a Facebook user, don't know his name, but it says definitely value ladies for me. Once I embraced the pain and the hurt from the emotional attachment and starting embracing who I am from a mental and spiritual perspective, things started looking better.
Yep.
This
All
question
about
I put,
perspective.
I
Yeah, it's
say,
definitely. I definitely
thank
agree
you
with
God
that.
for that.
Perspective is a huge and a very powerful thing because it can really alter a lot of things if you just change your perception on a situation.
Mhm.
As I stated so many times before, a lot of people look at situations and they say, they're like, why is this happening to me? Woe is me. I've been like, but people fail to realize, and I have to tell myself this too all the time. Like, I ain't the only one that's going through this. There's so many other people
Right.
that's experiencing this too. I'm not that special to just be like, oh yeah, you're the only one going through it. So
Right.
a lot of people just need to alter their perception and say, what is this trying to teach me? What am I learning from this? What can I gain from this? Instead, and saying, what is, because just looking at things like it's always happening for our higher good, bad, or indifferent. Everything is shaping and molding us to become the person that we are called and meant to be. And if you look at things from that perspective, and instead of from a pessimistic and a glass half empty
That victim mindset.
situation,
Apple. That's
you,
right.
yeah, a victim mindset,
Yeah,
then you
you
will
got something in the glass,
definitely,
period.
yes, definitely. So
That's
you
what
will
they
have a
want us to
better,
do.
yeah.
Well,
Sorry, no, finish your thought. What was you saying?
Oh
oh
no,
yeah. Well,
go ahead. Yeah, you go ahead because you were saying
oh, oh, okay, okay, okay. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to talk those shockers on fleek? Those shockers on
What?
fleek. Well, as y'all was talking, and the more you talk, the more I'm saying I'm getting my thought process of this. So another way that I've experienced, I'll say abandonment, is because of my spiritual changes. So I grew up, first 9 years of my life, I was a Christian. We went to church. I want to say Pentecostal, was our denomination. So I grew up in church. So, like I said, when my mom met her husband, he changed our religion. I believe he was an Ansar, which is a form of Islam, and then that changed it to Wahhabianism, and then now we grown. So I follow my own little situation. But he completely changed our religion, which of course didn't sit well with my family because we believe in God and all that good stuff. So because of my mom's decision, I kind of lost my family. I kind of lost at least how I felt. I lost my biological family because my mom is off living her life, doing her own thing, and I have to follow her. And they're all over here, what I'm saying, banding together and sticking with their I'm saying, with their roots, while my mom is going off doing something different. So my relationship changed with my family because of her decision. Because, like I said, when I grew up, I was the only child, so everybody loved me, everything's love, love, and all that good stuff. But then that started to change. Now, it was kind of cool when I was a kid, but once I became an adult, now, I'm choosing to live this life. I'm not just following my mom. So now I'm starting to have my own issues, with my family. But I had this new family though, because my stepdad has children. It's four of it's four of them. So I had a whole new family, and that's what I was told. I'm saying, the situation. I wasn't supposed to lose my first family, but I was supposed to just be extended. I have a, I'm saying, I had more people to love, I'm saying? And I always wanted siblings because I was the only child technically, but I was the oldest. So I always had, people under me. So I wanted a big brother. I wanted somebody to be older than me, what I'm saying? I wanted someone to look after me because I was always, designated to watch everybody because I was the oldest. So in this situation, I got me a big brother. I was uber excited about that. So yay, I could look up to somebody and all this good stuff. Then I had sisters, what I'm saying, because one of my female cousins, we are closer to the same age. We never really got along for whatever reason. So I had sisters now. So yay, cool. But then as years go by, what I'm saying, with the dynamics of that relationship, I'm saying, and I'm going to go and say that the predominant issue was the parents. They made decisions because as children, we didn't choose to be in each other's lives. We didn't choose to be siblings. We didn't choose any of the decisions that were made. We were just supposed to follow along with what our parents were doing. You know what I'm saying? So our relationships are honestly based off of our parents' relationship. You see what I'm saying? Because I grew up, there was a polygamous type situation. So you have the dad, and there's several mothers. As women, we all understand how that works. Fighting over a man, you know what I mean, and coming to your children as your comfort. So of course, as kids, we got to take our mama side. Right, wrong, and different. Whoever was right, whoever was wrong. And from our perspective as children, this is my mama. My mama's in pain. She crying, saying whatever, whatever, whatever. So I got to take her side. And as kids, ain't nothing we can really do about it but defend our parent. You know what I'm saying? Our moms when the conversation comes up amongst us. So that already put an automatic division between us, you know what I'm saying? And not to say that the parents, I'm saying, our parents, thought that was what that wasn't their intentions, but that's the environment, I'm saying, that they created. So now that even we're adults, it's kind of the same way. I'm saying? Because that's been embedded in us. So now as adults, it's up to us to see if we have an actual connection, if we want to still be family or not. It's all about that. It's honestly all about a relationship and how you resonate with people. And again, when you don't deal with your childhood traumas, when you don't, what I'm saying, want to do the work and do your shadow work and all that stuff, there becomes a discord. So I felt like I've also lost my second family. So I lost my first family, and now I realize the family that I was brought into ain't what it was told. So now altogether, I feel like I just lost everybody, and I am the most family oriented person. You see what I'm saying? So, and I don't think any of my family members really understand my perspective on that or see how I see that. You know what I'm saying? So now that even trickled into, my outside relationships. I had joined, I'm a part of a group called the Lighthouse. So because of my discord with my new family, I adopted them as my family. You know what I'm saying? We still family, but I had an unhealthy attachment to them. This is probably the first time they'll ever hear about that. It's public now. You know what I'm saying? Because of my perspective on family and my abandonment issues. Like I said, when I get attached to you, I get attached to you, and I'm very open. You know what I'm saying? And subconsciously, I expect you to do the same. But everybody's not like me. Everybody is not open like I am. And I can't expect people to be like me. That was one of my biggest lessons that I had to learn. And it used to piss me off when people used to say that shit to me because I didn't understand it. Because I do not consciously want y'all to be like me or think like me. That's not what I'm It's not what I want. I'm looking at it as common sense. You know what I'm saying? The energy you put out is
Right.
the energy you come back. It's not my
Do
shit.
unto others as you have them do unto
Yeah,
you. Very common
you know what
sense.
I'm saying? So that shit used to
Hmm.
piss me off, but I get it now. People don't move the same, and it's not a right or wrong thing. It's just what is. And I can't expect people to be me or give me the same energy that I'm giving them. I have to just give my energy where I so fit, delegate my energy where I need to, be myself. You know what I'm saying? And if they're going to reciprocate it, probably not. Most likely, you're going to get, it's like they say with doctors, more than likely, you're going to get energy from somewhere else. When you're giving it this way, more than likely, you're going to be replenished from somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? And not to say that I'm not getting that, from, my lighthouse group or anything like that. It's just that is the lesson that I had to learn because I used to take it, you know what I'm saying? And I'm the type of person, even if I take something personally, I don't react the way most people think I should because, again, I care more about the people that I'm attaching myself to than my own feelings. So I would never want to say or do anything to upset them, make them feel some type of way or whatever. Because remember, y'all don't have to be my family. You see what I mean? Because the people who were supposed to be my family, who were supposed to be obligated, they're not. See what I'm saying? So if the people who are supposed to be obligated are not going to, are going to be fickle, then I can't expect anything out of you. So now I'm doing everything that I possibly can to make sure that we stay tight the way we tight. You see, not understanding that everybody has their own journey, and just because you don't resonate the same way, you know what I'm saying, like you used to, it's not a bad thing. Everybody got their thing to do. Like right now, since I've been kind of on my solo dolo thing, I've been working. I've been focusing on my platform and what I got going on. And I'm sure same with my mom and same with, what I'm saying, my lighthouse members. Everybody doing their own thing. We out here being fucking great. You know what I'm saying? And there are moments in your journey where you're going to have to, stand alone. That doesn't mean that you are alone, but there's certain things that you got to do by yourself, regardless of what,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying, to fulfill your purpose. You know what I'm saying? And I learned that lesson last year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I learned that just last year. You know what I mean? And I have a level of peace that y'all just wouldn't believe. And the manifestations have been monstrous.
Hmm.
Because like I was saying, perspective. I no longer take shit personally. That was what I needed to stop doing, taking things personally. Now, not to say that I don't have not supposed to have
Yes.
feelings. I got feelings about it. I got a feeling about everything, but I have to know for real. And it's true. I'm opinionated. I don't know if it's an Aries thing or whatever it is,
It
but I
is.
got an opinion and a thought about everything. I promise you that. Whether I say it or not, I promise
It
you
is.
that I do.
I got an Aries sister, so it is.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I mean?
It is.
It is what it is. I do. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of why I'm good at what I do. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I also understand my opinions are my opinions.
Mhm.
Facts are facts. But at the end of the day, it's not my job to make you believe anything, make you see
Hmm.
anything. That's not my job. If
Mhm.
I feel like it's my job to share something with you, I'm going to share it. That's why I got a platform. And it's up to you to do what you want with the information because you have to answer to your own self and the higher,
Hmm.
source or whatever.
Yeah.
You have to deal with the consequences of not listening to what I had, what I said or, whatever it is.
Mhm.
That doesn't affect me. And I think that's what I had to learn.
Mhm.
I felt like it affected me because I allow everybody that I love to
Mhm.
affect me.
Mhm.
And I had to find a balance in that. And
Mhm.
it used to scare me because I didn't want to turn into, emotionless because I used to interpret that like, well, if I can't be like this, then I got to be a complete 180. I
Yeah.
can't, you know what I'm saying? I got to be a bitch or, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. And
And that
that's
just
something
don't
I'm
sit
working on.
right. Yeah, that don't sit right with me. I'm
Yeah.
not that person. The only time I can really get rah-rah with you is when you try to play me.
Mhm.
That is the only time I feel comfortable with coming for your ass.
Right.
Outside
Right.
of that, it's uncomfortable.
Mhm.
It's, you know what I'm saying? It's not a natural thing. So that was just the biggest lesson, like I said, abandonment issues was my lesson for this journey. And the universe presented it in several different ways. And now that I see that, I it's so much easier to navigate through.
Yes.
So
And I
Right.
understand. And I get it because I completely get what you're coming from because with my connections, like the connections I've had with people, I know like looking back, like I can go back like 10 years from now and I know I'm not the same person. I know I've grown and evolved, especially my mindset and how I see things. Just being in connections with people, I remember just being frustrated and angry because it wasn't going the way that I wanted it to go, or they wanted something else, or whatever the case may have been. And, being on the other side of things, I understand, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not mad or I'm not frustrated or not angry about it because, you know, I have learned that everybody has their own journey, has their own path, and who am I to take you off that path? You know what I'm saying? And so to love somebody, truly love somebody, is to allow them to be who they need to be completely and 100%. And when you put a limitation on that and a restriction on that, that's not real love. That's not true love. And that's not allowing that person to become their full self. So you have to allow people their space to really get themselves in line. Like when I was younger, just an example, I got with my kid's father. We were together since I was like we were like at 16, straight out of high school. Pop got pregnant. So, like, and so when it got to the point where we started to, grow apart and he started to deal with other females and things like that, it really took a toll on me because, of course, this is somebody you been with since you were 16 and you got like all of this. This is, in my head, I didn't want the same stigma that I seen my parents. Like I wanted to have kids with one man and that's it. And I wanted to marry this man. I wanted this to be my husband. I didn't want I got 10 baby daddies. And like, I didn't want that. Like, that's not what I envisioned for myself. So in my mind, I'm like, I got to make this work by any means necessary. So again, that's that abandonment issue and that codependency, holding on to something and trying to, constrain a situation that the universe, that God is trying to break away from me because this is not my path. His path is something else and my path is something else. But now on the other side, looking at that, like in the midst of it, I was angry. I was pissed. Of course you got all these feelings. But then on the other side, I'm looking like, well, we've been together since we were 16. He ain't been out there to see what else is out there, to see if I am the person he wants to be with. Like, what if it's something else out there for him? Who am I to constrain him from that? And I'm selfish by saying, only me, only me. And we only been, like I said, 16. So like, you're still a child. We got to live our life and see what else is out here. You know what I'm saying? So when I started to look at it from that way, my anger diminished, my frustrations and things like that diminished. How he went about it was still effed up, of course. But I understand, I get it, and I know now all we were meant to do is have 3 beautiful children. That's it. And we have those kids that are supposed to be here. We were not equally yoked. We were not meant to be. And I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Of course, in the midst of it, you're not. But when you grow and you evolve and you start to change your perspective on things and you stop putting so much constraint and weight on the situation, and I'm learning as well to kind of just allow things to flow and not put so much expectations on a specific outcome and just allow things to flow and just let them come to me and let it just happen. Because I'm that type of person that I'm gonna hold on for dear life. When I love you, like you said, when I love you, when I care about you, I'm gonna do everything I can to, like, I'm gonna put my feelings on the back burner to make sure you good. And that's what I've been doing for so long. And I'm realizing like I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I gotta speak my piece. I gotta say how I feel. And I gotta just let certain things go. You can't just hold on so tightly. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta give some things some breathing room and
When
just
you
let
hold
it
on,
come to you naturally. And when you hold
yeah,
on, you stop. It's like you slow down the process of of you getting where you need to get, and
yeah,
things stop flowing like it's supposed to. You
you
know,
can't receive nothing if you
if you're
holding on,
holding on,
gripping
you
it,
got
and your
close to
hand
it.
ain't open.
Exactly.
Hmm.
My
So
grandma
it's
used to say that.
that's something that I'm learning to just really kind of just go with the flow, stop being so constrained on things, loving people where they are and
Hmm.
understanding things and knowing that whatever they're doing is not a reflection of how they feel about you, but it's just a matter of what they got to go through in their journey and what they got going on. So just kind of
Hmm.
separating separating those things, and that'll help you not, be so angry or get so worked up about certain situations, and just understand that people got their own life, people got their own stuff going on. Like, the world doesn't revolve around you. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to think that, like, look, I got to be number one on your list. You got to put me on a pedestal, but you just got to, like, that's not realistic. You see what I'm saying? It's not realistic at all. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you tied that into relationships because that just brought up another. I just brought up another
want to say
like,
real quick though that I think that a lot of that comes from a lot of that gets mastered also when you go into learning how to control ego. And so when you learn to control your ego is here for your survival, right? So your ego tells you that if you can control everything, then you will get your peace. But the real peace comes from being in peace through the journey, knowing that no matter how anything goes, your faith and your well-being and your growth is all that you need. Like I feel like I've kind of been the same way when it comes to like not wanting to let go of things when it's not good for me, whether it be a job, a relationship. Like I allowed one job, my first professional job, as an X-ray tech, to stress me out so bad that I broke out in a skin rash from my neck down that was called eczema psoriasis, and it's a hybrid of eczema and
I was
psoriasis.
about to say that's what that sound like.
Yeah.
What's the name had a baby? Damn.
Yeah, and it was bad. I mean, it was so bad. I had a bodybuilding competition 2 weeks out. And basically, the doctor told me, he was like, this is purely caused by stress. And like, that was such an alarm for me of, something's got to go. Like something has to give, but I can't continue operating where I'm trying to be this amazing employee plus amazing significant other plus amazing mother plus amazing, sister or daughter plus amazing whatever else the world needs me to be, friend and stuff. And but my ego was telling me that I could control it all, that if I just do this or if I just do that, like I could have control of it. In reality, is none of that was within my control. Like it's just me showing up every day is all that I can control. My mentality is all that I can control. And so once I realized that things not going my way during the day was a lot easier for me to handle, it was a lot easier because I wasn't allowing my ego to tell me that I need to be in control of this stuff. Like when I dropped my phone outside of my car driving down the highway going 80 miles per hour, like my ego told me, you need to pull over, you need to risk your life and pull over real fast and go get that phone. But I was like,
Hell to the
let me
no.
go.
Get
Right.
another
Not
one.
gonna
Step
die
the
today. And
phone.
like I was able to just like breathe, be like, you know what, fuck that phone in reality. I got insurance, I got the money
Right.
in the bank account to get it.
Right.
Like that
That's
phone's gotta
sometimes
stay
that's
where
what
it's
you
at.
gotta do. You gotta kind of adapt that I don't give a fuck attitude and mentality.
Yeah.
Keep it pushing.
Exactly, because they will throw tests at you daily just to see if you're gonna
Yeah.
correct or if you're gonna allow them to do what they're trying to do with you, you
Yeah.
know. And
Ooh,
so,
that is so true. The universe.
Yeah.
Always doing that to me. I promise you. It seems to be they've been doing it a whole lot lately. But I've been passing with flying colors though. It's all right.
Girl, them tests be coming. I'll be like,
Got this.
Lord, not
We
again.
got this
well,
though. But we got this. We got this. But you had mentioned Taquita relationships, so
Mhm.
I'm going to share how my abandonment issues affected my relationship and how getting over as I continue to get over them, how much better my relationship becomes. So, my man was my replacement for my mama. Because again, I was technically the only child, and me and my mom had this, we was ace boon coon. Then other people came through, and then I also had this perspective that, your significant other is supposed to take priority because that's, what I saw my mom do. So she was going to put all of that into him. So I felt like, well, when I get with my significant other, that's how that's supposed to be too. We just supposed to be all about each other, and you know what I'm saying. That's how that's supposed to be. But him and I started off with just a sexual relationship. So there was no obligations, there was no none of that. And the type of job that he has put us in a position where we have to we're kind of semi long distance. Yeah, I guess if you want to label it or something like that, whatever. So for a long time, whenever I would, and I'm a very understanding person. I'm like this: when I get into a situation, I know what I'm doing, and I'm making a conscientious choice. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, we started off just sexually, so I played my role. Once the feelings started to change, of course, I wanted more, but I had insecurity issues with myself. And then again, I'm going based off of what I've seen my mom and her relationship doing. So I was, every time it didn't go that way, I always got into my feelings because I'm expecting him to put me as a priority like my mom did at one point. You know what I'm saying? So I used to hurt my own feelings. You know what I mean? He'd be on the road. He's working. I know what his job entails. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm hitting you up. Yeah, I want you to talk to me. But guess what? He's working. So I shouldn't, you know what I'm saying? So I shouldn't, you know what I mean? I
I
shouldn't
get
feel
it.
no type of way and get all
Right.
in the huff and the puff and crying. And girl, you should have seen me. Girl, y'all should have seen me. It was terrible. It was so terrible. Like, I would really get myself worked up and he would be completely clueless. I done smoked up all my weed. I done cry. You know what I'm saying? I done dehydrated myself from crying. You know what I'm saying? I'm just one big old neck bomb going through all this emotional shit. He just working.
Mhm.
And then when he get to me, he's like, "What the fuck? What you
Right.
talking about? Like, what are you talking? Like, what are you
What's going
talking
on? Did I miss something or something?
Right, exactly. And then I'm just and then I'm taking that ass. Oh, you just an asshole. You got me over here.
Ugly crying and everything.
All of that. You know what I'm saying? All of that. Simply because I want to be prioritized in somebody else's life instead of understanding that I have to be a priority in my own.
Yes, yes.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know what I mean? And if I really felt like I wasn't a priority and that was a need, then I don't need to be with him. I don't need to sit here and continue to do this seesaw shit and crying and telling him what I want and then he don't do it and I cry doing this cycle because I don't want to let go. Because this is the first person that I've been with that's a real man and caters to me in certain ways and give me that ookie, you give me all them feelings, you know what I'm saying, and all that good stuff and all that jazz, and I can't let that go. I lost it with my mom. I lost it with my families. I can't let this go. I understand where my mom coming from now. I understand the difference between the love. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it now. But then I also was fighting with not being like my mom
Yes.
because of my feelings of her relationship, how that went, how that affected me. So I done put myself in this turmoil, trying not to be something, but trying to be who I am and trying to figure all of that out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of just being. Now that I realize, you know what I'm saying, what that was, now we Gucci. If my king, if I don't talk to him, even if it's for a week, you know what I'm saying? I know he lied. And all I know is that and I'll give you a movie to give you an example. The Secret. I mention it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They tell you when it comes down to energy, especially the people that you share energy with on a regular basis, when you guys are not on frequency, you will not be around each other, even if you live together. If you're vibing high and you know what I'm saying, you all up here in your 528 hertz and whatnot, and your significant other is not, y'all will always miss each other. You'll be asleep when he gets home from work. You know what I'm saying? He'll be gone when you wake up. You know what I'm saying? You'll just miss that text. You'll just miss that call. There's a reason for that, and it has nothing to do with anything personal. It has nothing to do with the fact that he is just consciously doesn't want to talk to me, or he consciously is just trying to abandon me. That's not what it is. We just not vibing right now. And most of the times, it probably was a good reason why he wasn't around me. But I, again, you know what I'm saying, I'm being codependent and I need this attention, you know what I'm saying, to make me feel like something. When my universe could have been, you know what I'm saying, hooking me up. Because in my relationship, we don't argue. I've expressed myself over the years of things that I didn't like, but an argument, never. And because of the way our relationship is set up, we have been able to grow together and grow on our own. I do my shadow work by myself. I don't think he call it shadow work, but he be doing his shadow work, you know what I'm saying?
Miss
This
Ellen.
man over there, you know what I mean? We get space because I'm gonna keep it real. If him and I had a regular relationship, I wouldn't be doing this. I would have spent my whole life trying to make him keep him happy to make myself happy,
Mm-hmm.
making sure that he doesn't leave me, making sure, you know what I'm saying, and not to say that not to say that he's controlling or just using me and nothing like that, but that's just how I would have been. You know what I mean? So because we have time to be by ourselves and all that, he kind of gets to see me from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So he a little bit more comfortable with all my spirituality stuff now. Because he's a Christian. You know what I'm saying? But because he has his space to be him and I have my space to be me, we get to now just observe, you know what I'm saying, our each other's situations without being forced to be a part of it. Because that's where these things get fucked up when you're forced to have to do something that doesn't really resonate with
Mm-hmm.
you. You see what I'm saying? So we've actually been able to allow each other to grow because of our situation. Like
Mm-hmm.
I got the best of both worlds. I live a committed and single life. I'm committed, but I can move the way because you ain't probably ain't gonna never see my man in a photo. He don't like people. We're the complete opposites like that. He don't like people. He don't like social media. He don't like none of that. You know what I'm saying? But we complement each other. And he has taught me a lot. And that's another thing. Relationships are supposed to teach you something. That's another thing that I learned. We get into relationships because we're looking for somebody, like you say, ego. We're looking for somebody to love us. We're looking for somebody to take care of us. We're looking for somebody to be, you know what I'm saying, whatever it is. Love is a service
And it's a choice.
and it's a choice. And it's something that you are supposed to be and supposed to embody. That's what love is. So if you're getting into a relationship thinking about what you're gonna get out of it, you're already starting off wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because as soon as you don't get what you want, it doesn't matter the dynamics, it's
You're
going to
right.
change and it's not going to work.
Yes.
As soon as you stop doing whatever it is, like when people get married all the time because they want stability. But what happens when they lose that job?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? People get married because they got pregnant. You got my baby now, so we got to. This is why there's a whole lot of polygamous relationships going on that people don't call polygamy. Got a lot of married people sharing a man. No matter how you feel about it, no matter how right, wrong you want to think about it, the majority of Americans, I'm gonna go all the way out and say that the majority of American marriages are polygamous on the low. Period.
Right.
Period. Okay? Because there's a whole lot of people in places where they don't want to be. This is why I feel the way I feel about relationships. I love my king. We've been together almost 14 years. You know what I'm saying? I want to have all his juicy babies before my uterus dry up. I would love to do all of that. But if tomorrow something was to happen and he was to tell me, we need to take a break, whatever, whatever, blah, 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 boo, da, 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 do. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna have some feelings. I told you I feel. I'm gonna have some feelings, but I'm going to allow him to go and do what he needs to do because I love him and I want him to fulfill his journey. He was not born to come here and be with me. That is not his purpose. We are a part of each other's journey,
Mm-hmm.
but his purpose was not to come here and take care of me and make me feel secure in myself and all of that jazz. That
That's
is not his
your
purpose.
that's your purpose, right?
That's
I
my
love
purpose,
that.
exactly.
Right.
So I want him to be free just like I'm free. We are together because we want to be together, not because not because he got me pregnant, not because you know what I'm saying we went in front of God or whoever and signed some type of paper. No, because that don't stop nothing. People
No,
say what they want about how they feel, but the evidence is clear. That piece of paper does not make anybody stay with you. It does not make people, it doesn't keep people faithful. It does not give you some fidelity. It does not give you that.
it's a choice.
It's a
I, re-
choice. It is
I
all
remember, I remember talking to a guy before, and he was just so upset because I told him, like, look, I want somebody that wants me. I don't want nobody that needs me.
that part.
Because if you need
Yes.
me, that's unhealthy and that's toxic.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody should need another person. You want me because that's a choice. You choosing me every day. You don't have to be with me. But when you're obligated, it's forced and it's not natural. When you need something, that's when it's forced and it's not natural. Even to this day, like even in our relationships, like if I feel something or whatever, I'm like, I don't sit here and say, well, I need some money. I say, universe, I want some money. Grant me this money. Give me this money. Find ways to make this to me. But I'm not gonna sit here and say I need. So it's all about changing your words, your perspective, and things like that. And people that have that mindset that they need something, they got something going on internally that they still gotta get together
I think
because
that's the
it's
biggest red
nothing.
flag.
Yeah, and because there's nothing in this world that you need because it's all provided to you, and we all have
Correct.
access, and we all
Love
have
because we
the
need.
same access to these things. So it's just all about your mindset and what you're doing to go after those things. But need, no. But do I want? Yes. So I want somebody to want me and to choose me, and that is the goal. Like that's beautiful. If a man came to me and be like, I want you, you know what I'm saying? I want you in my life. I want this with you, and fighting for that every day and choosing to love me in spite of differences or trials and tribulations. That's the ultimate, goal of a relationship or love or marriage or whatever the case or whatever your ultimate goal is, but not because you need somebody. I don't want nobody to be like, dang, I need to be with her because I'm broke and I need some money and she living her best life. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's not like, who wants that? I don't want nobody to need me. Like, I want you to want
Girl,
Yeah.
me.
you I
It also transcends past. It
five
also
people right
transcends
now living
past
in
relationships when it comes to significant others. Because you'd be surprised how many friends and females that I have who will be like, Misha, I need your energy. I need your energy. Like that's a red flag for me. Like, please
Red
don't
flag,
need my energy. I
red
know I
flag,
have good energy. I know I have good energy, but I don't need you to need I need my energy. And then I
yeah.
want to delegate it to people when I feel like I have it to give. Like one of my really good friends, we were supposed to have a girls' weekend last weekend for Valentine's night. And like I was really talking myself into going until one of the girls was like, "Please don't go. Don't let the guy don't let you go with your guy friend." My guy friend took me out to a spa for the weekend, but she was like, "Don't go do that." She was like, "I need your energy. I need you to go out with us." And like that was a red flag to me. I was like, "I love you." But I was
I'm
about
not
to
supposed to
say,
get spa
I was
treatment
about
with
to
my
say when
man.
she
It's
said
something
that.
afterwards
Exactly.
because you want
And
my
I'm just
energy.
like, don't need my like that. I've had so many people over the last year say that to me. And when they say that to me, like I automatically back up because I'm like, okay, you obviously need healing because that's all that my energy can offer you is healing. So you need healing, but that means that if you feel like you need solely my energy to be in that energy of healing, then that means that you are open to abusing how much of my energy you take because you don't recognize that that's still my energy you're ciphering. You just know that you feel good around me. It's very basic, your thought when it comes to being in my presence. So you're not going to say, okay, I done talked about my personal life too much with Misha. Let me give her a break. Let her, let me not give her all that. You're going to just pour that shit into me, without doubt, because you're going to know that you feel better. You didn't get been able to release it into a safe environment. And so that transcends without through just relationships on every level. Like I try to be very mindful of anybody who needs me outside, like my love. Like I know I got good love, but don't need my energy because energy is a lot more than just my love. I feel like that's my essence, my
That's your
soul. You
essence,
saying you
baby.
need, exactly. You're not saying you need my love. You saying you need all of my being, and that's a lot. Like if you're not my daughter, you
Yeah.
know, or if I'm not in a committed relationship with you, then I don't like this. I feel like you do that for your nation, your intermediate nation that you building. You
And
know, you
even
give them.
balance, and even balance that. You ain't supposed to get
Yeah, exactly. And even
every.
then you cipher it, absolutely. But you know, if you're gonna give it, if you're gonna give your all, your essence to somebody, it needs to be to your intermediate nation that you're building, your children, your parents, your siblings, you know, building those relationships. It's not for just random people, you know, that you may known a couple weeks, even a night, you know, like those aren't the people that you just
Human beings are
pour
selfish.
your entire being
We
into.
are
Yeah, you
entitled. We are
are.
entitled. So if you got
Mhm.
something that they want or they need, you're entitled to
And
get it.
that's another thing with like law of attraction, like another thing with that, like sometimes we put out that energy not knowing, like when we're not operating in a high vibration, we put out that energy of lack, and we get that right back to us. So then the universe sends us somebody who's like taken and is needy or is broken, and like, and all of that, and you got to put all this into somebody to build. Like, no, that's something you're supposed to do. Like, I remember, this is just this is a story, y'all. So look, there was a guy. This was like, I don't know, some years ago, but it was very short lived. Just put it that way. He was not doing nothing like with his life, like at all. I don't be knowing where these dudes be coming from, Lord. Like, get away from me. But like, this guy wasn't out doing nothing with his life. I think he was even staying with his kid's mama. You know how that be, girl. So, anyways, like, this dude literally was like, he had no desire to do anything with his life. He was like, I'm not doing this, whatever. I want to get a woman and then start building. Sir, no. You need to have yourself together. I know this is like, but I'm
Nope.
tired of people getting into these situations where they are not in a space and they're not healed and they're not. I'm not saying you got to be 100%. None of us are. We all are always evolving and growing. We all always are. But you need to be in a healthy space before you put yourself out there to, you know, connect with another person. Because then it's just cycles repeating, and hurt people and damaged goods and trauma and all this other stuff. And I feel like people need to start focusing on doing the work within themselves and focusing on that and getting their energy together before they connect with other people. You can't be sitting out here talking about you ready for a relationship when you ain't got the basics, when you still like
When you
going
all in your trauma
you
still.
still got demons and you still got skeletons in
Hmm.
your closet. You can't be out here doing that. And
That's
then
how
it's
you
like
form.
people attract they and then because me, I know I have such a healing energy, and I feel like for the most part, me vibrating from a low vibration, I was attracting these type of men that just was like it like just ain't had like was just all over the place, just broken. And I feel like I've been always like, trying to put people together. And I'm breaking myself at the expense of trying to build you up and, make you who you need to be. And then you just got to get to the point where you like, nah, that's not what's happening. I'm focusing on myself. You get your shit together. And when you get your shit together, then come holler at me. Until then, no. Like, you got to keep people like that at bay. And it's not even just like romantic connections. It's just friendships too.
Hmm.
People are so toxic and, just so all about them and selfish. And instead of them taking their own accountability and putting in that work that they need to build themselves up and be their best selves, they rather just sit back and wait for somebody else to do it for them. No, honey, you need to do the work. I'm not the person that's supposed to build you up. You need to build yourself up. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's just, I'm just tired of people in energy like that. I need people who are like on that page where like, yeah, we gonna get this work together, and people that recognize it. Like, I can even deal with somebody who recognizes that they got work and they need to get themselves together, and it's taking accountability and doing this, taking the steps needed to get to where they need to get. But it's too many people out here that's just willy-nilly and just don't care. And like, no, I'm not your mama. I'm not
No,
your grandma. I ain't doing none of that. I
but
got
that's
three
what they
kids.
looking for. They got abandonment issues. See that,
Yes,
and
and they got
that's
some
what it
abandonment
is.
issues, so they're looking for a mother. They're looking for somebody to
Mm-hmm.
nurture them. Honey, I'm not it. I got three
She
kids. I
said,
don't need another one. No. So
I,
you get yourself together. You got to work on that inner stuff. And yeah, so we
I
have
And
gotta
I think a
start.
lot of people
I
take it as
gotta
being like harsh. Like they take
yeah,
it as being like harsh on them when you tell them that, like, I'm interested in you, but at the same time, I feel like you need to do healing work. Like
yeah,
to say that, like they get offended, like you're ragging on them or you're being judgmental. And the
it's
reality
a
is,
trigger.
I'm doing a lot of work on my own personal healing journey, and so that's all with intent that the next relationship I enter, is a healed relationship, not
Yeah,
one based off of trauma bonds. And
right.
so
Okay. which
I
is
don't know.
another
Like,
show that we're going to talk about. We're going
Yes.
to
yeah,
take trauma
because
bonding.
I think that it's
Understand that's most
like this.
relationships, especially in our community,
Mm-hmm.
are trauma bonds. We click with each other because
Because
we
of our
hurt.
traumas.
Yep, I done had this same hurt. You done
The
been hurt.
pain.
So let's be hurt together. And we think, and it's good intentions. Don't get me wrong. It's good intentions. They feel like we're gonna help each other, through it. But y'all are both hurt. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all both going through the trauma. So you need somebody who's healed or has not gone through that to help you both. You kind of can't. It's just like kids teaching each other about sex or teaching themselves about things that they've never experienced.
Hmm.
So this is why shit happens that ain't supposed to, because no, you should be talking to your parents who are an adults who know what sex is about, so they can tell you all the things that you don't know. Because when you were a kid, all you see in sex is the umping and grinding, and all you see is
Right.
the
Not
visual.
the emotional and
Yeah,
traumatic,
you
the
don't see it. You don't
energy
see the
exchange.
emotional energy and all of that jazz. So it's,
Hmm.
it's the same situation. So we gonna we gonna say that for for that one. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
that's
have to get
normally
that off
what
my
it is. Most people are get like I said, love is a service. If
It
you
is.
if you go into a relationship thinking about what you're gonna get, you already fucked up.
Hmm.
And that leads into that. But that is all that I have. Those are pretty much the four ways that my abandonment issues, you know what I'm saying, have affected me and how me, you know what I'm saying, healing from them has bettered or has been a betterment. Yeah, let me get that etymology right, you know what I'm saying, for my life. So I can tell everybody I'm just like you. I'm special, but we all special, you know what I'm saying, in our own way. It's just acknowledging what's going on with you. And this is why this, podcast is so important. Is when you get to the root of your issues, you can actually start changing them. It's not about judging you. I say this a lot sometimes when I'm talking to my mom or other people. So I don't because I can come across really rough and really tough, you know what I'm saying, when I'm telling the truth. It's that Oya energy. And I don't mean, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to, degrade you or make you think that I'm better than you. I'm just trying to let you know what worked for me. And I don't want you to suffer. I see what you got going on. And I'm just trying to give you the tools to change that so you can live a better life. That's the only motive I get out of that. You know what I'm saying? So I try to tell people all the time, I'm not trying to be mean to you like at all. It's just we got to start dealing with the truth because it's these lies
Easier
and
on you.
illusions. You know what I'm saying? Is what's while we're going year after year after year after year, not
Like
healing.
there's so many group chats. Like I'm a part of Clubhouse, and there's so many audios and rooms that they have, um, where basically it's like, brothers, why do you feel our sisters or melanin sisters or black women are doing this? Or sisters, why do you feel like the black man, what do you think he can do to be better? Or why is it his fault that this is happening to us? And it's
I don't.
always like
I
attacking
don't
each
like.
other. And I'm like, that's not where growth is going to come. Growth isn't going to prosper from that. Growth is going to prosper from us recognizing that this society has fucked all of us up. All of us are emotionally traumatized in some way, shape, or form. For the most part, the majority of us are. And we are just now starting to recognize that that's not normal and that something needs to change. But it's not going to come through conversations where we just attacking each other. It's going to come through
Right.
conversations where we unite, where we're empathetic and sympathetic towards each other on our own journeys, no matter what they look like for each other. And then we come together and we are there. We're those shoulders that we each need to lean on, in a healthy way. Because like I just feel like, right now when it comes to melanin beings, we are, the majority is so caught up in placing the blame in either a family member, a failed relationship, a traumatic event. And it's like those conversations are good to initially bring up because you're recognizing what the problem is, but that's not solving the problem. That's just talking about the problem, you know, like what are we gonna do? How can we help each other? What groups and chats do we need to come up where you solely just have a safe place to, you know, let out how you feel to cry? Like where can men go to cry? Where are they safe? Where are their safe havens for them to go and emotionally, actually, physically release that? You know.
Environment of Inspiration group on Facebook. Let me throw that plug in there. That is a
Love,
safe
let's go,
place.
let's go.
That is a safe
Yes.
place for for everyone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To cry, to vent, to give their form of inspiration. I definitely try to create safe spaces for that because, like I said, not everybody's like me and they throw shock and ain't all the way open and comfortable with talking about stuff. So I like to create spaces for people to be comfortable with doing that because when you get it out, that's how you can start working on it.
Hmm.
So you are absolutely right. I really do not like that, and it's something that I really doing my due diligence to try to change. I talk about it. I don't do the bashing thing. I did a show about it. I'm gonna probably have to share it. About the whole back and forth. Black men did this. Black women did that. They did this. Did that. We can go back and forth all day talking about
All
what
day.
it
And that's what they
is,
want. That's what they
and that's
want.
what
That's
they
the whole
want,
point
and
of
that's
it.
what they
That's
want.
the whole point of it.
Yeah, I think
Because
everybody in the world wants to be accountable.
there's power and unity in every love relationship when you're in love. But the power that comes from two melanin conscious beings being together is earth shaking. It's world changing. And so if they can keep us at odds with each other and constantly focused on what in reality the people we talking to had nothing to do with, they
Nope.
just the same color or gender as the person who really hurt us. If they can keep us in that unhealed traumatic cycle of mindset towards our brothers and sisters, like they winning. So like that shit's got to be nipped in the bud immediately. Like I'm over it. Like, and I have to work on my throat chakra because when I do get to talking, like it's not about what he, she, they did. It's about how can we heal from this? Like what can we do right now? Do you need me to start a room where I'm just putting up binaural beats, sound frequencies to actually help the energy go? Do we need meditating groups once a week where we get on Zoom and we just, do Reiki and like healing energy? Like we actually got to start seeing the solutions. This I'm so honored to be a part of this podcast with you ladies because being able to talk about the childhood trauma and then be able to help people through it, when they reach out or when they have some advice that they need. Like that's very powerful, and we need more of it. Like anybody who's comfortable using their throat chakra, like we definitely need y'all on y'all P's and Q's right now because like they attacking us from every end, from the music to the TV shows to even our family battles. These entities is in different realms. So it's not like, we just got celebrities or bad music. We got entities coming into our interpersonal families and attacking us on a daily, or not on the daily, but if you protect it, but on the daily, like there's always some form of, spiritual armor
Warfare.
that we are needing to protect ourselves from these entities. And we can only do that through uniting with each other and actually getting to the root of the problem.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. We definitely need to come up with solutions. It's too much back and forth, and he did he did this, and she said that, and like it is what it is. What we need to, like you said, get to the root of the problem. What can we do to resolve these issues? We need to have more discussions and have more open conversations. Like communication is key, and I feel like that's a I honestly, if I can look back on just any relationship or situation I've had where I know there was toxicity or drama, the root of it was communication. And it was either because maybe somebody, had poor communication, didn't know how to express their feelings or had a fear. Like me, I'm going to be honest, I literally, had or suffer from a fear of being open and being honest and really speaking my truth because I'm afraid of the backlash or what's going to happen. This person's going to walk out on me. They're going to leave me if I speak up and say what I really want to say or what I need to say. So it's like it's met with the fear of like, okay, I'm not going to say nothing. I'm going to hold back how I truly feel. And then when you bottle that up, it comes out as that angry black woman syndrome. Oh, you mad, you angry, you black or whatever because you're not speaking up, and we hold that in, and men and women both have to do their part in making it more comfortable for their friends or their significant others to come to you and be able to express their feelings to you in a private manner without being met with, some type of, conflict, or fearing that you're going to go off and go cheat, or you're going to go off and go do this or do that because of what somebody said, and just having that comfortability to be able to be vulnerable and stripped down. And a lot of us, our black men, are have that fear because a lot of women have used their, internal things against them and their deep dark secrets against them, and they have a fear of opening up to women, and then they feel like, oh, I'm not going to open up, I'm going to be all this macho and be hard and whatnot. And I feel like that is beautiful. If a man can come to me and strip down and just strip away everything and be vulnerable and really express how he feel and come from a very vulnerable emotional place,
That's
that
when
is
you
the
get
most
to give that
beautiful
nurturing.
thing in the world. And we, us women, as black women, we have to, you know, create that
We
safe
nurture in that
space
way.
for them.
Hmm.
And I feel like enough of us black women don't do that because we're in that masculine energy, because
That
we have,
masculine.
it's like we
Hmm.
have to be in this masculine energy. So we putting up a wall too. So it's just like a back and forth and back and forth. And in order to stop that, you have to just say, look, I'm not going to go against, or I'm not going to look at this as like what would happen from it. Just do what you can and do your part. And if you continue to be in your feminine and you walk in your feminine energy, and I feel like it'll make men more easier to approach us and be able to have those, break those barriers, and they'll be able to come to us and express those feelings and, get these things off the chest. And it'll make better for conversations, and it'll kind of tear away that stigma of, oh, you did this, that he said, she said, and all that drama that,
So
is just keep
sad.
coming up amongst, the black
Mm,
community. So I
mm.
just really feel like people just need to just like really speak from their heart, be themselves, focus on their healing, and stop being so afraid of their hearts. Like everything
Their
comes from here,
power.
everything
Their
flows from
power.
here. And when you are strong, and I always be like, dang, it's a gift and a curse to be so like understanding and caring. And I know that I'm a person that just loves with all in me. And it's been a gift and a curse because no matter how many times I done fell down and I got hurt, I get right back up and say, I'm gonna love again. I'm gonna get back out there. I'm gonna put myself back out there. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't do that because they're like, oh, I'm scared. I'm gonna get hurt. I didn't got hurt before. I'm gonna do it again. But you gotta have that strength and know that every heartbreak, every failed attempt or whatever, no matter what it is all leading you to your purpose and leading you where you need to be. So you got to have the strength to just keep going in spite of whatever else is going on. So your heart just got to keep growing. So that's all we have to do. We just got to make a safe space for each other, be vulnerable, be
That's what we're
honest, be
doing.
clear, and communicate.
Yeah.
Communication is key. It's all about communication. And it's like how you communicate as well. Don't communicate from a place of anger and frustration. Communicate from a place of, and always look at a person's, put yourself in a person's shoes. I had to adopt that, that mindset. Like, let me put myself in this person's shoes. And I feel like if the world was more in a energy of like, let me put myself in this person's shoes and sit in their shoes to see how they're feeling, we would be more empathetic towards each other instead of saying like, oh, they did this, they did that. Try to look at stuff from other person's perspective. Don't be naive and don't be so gullible, but at the same time look from their perspective. And I feel like it'll calm things down and make it easier to have those conversations.
That is so true. I agree 1,000%. Well, all right, ladies, we have definitely been rocking for an hour and a half. So we're gonna let these folks
Thank you for
enjoy the
patience.
rest of their Saturday evening. I think that was really dope. Thank you guys for, allowing me to share my story. I thank you, ladies, for being a part of this as well, because it is my purpose for us to tackle these things and make these
Yeah.
spaces. And I cannot do this by myself. I don't care how open my throat chakra is. I am not the only voice that is needed to hear. So I appreciate y'all putting yourselves out there and, what I'm saying, to help others. And, the universe is going to definitely give you everything you need because you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And so I really
Also, tons of gratitude for everybody who vocalized and just said how they was feeling or thoughts that they had towards what we was talking about. Because for me, it's the interaction for me. Okay, I love to know that it's resonating with
so
people.
Queen
I
Misha
love
wants y'all to talk to her is what she's
right,
trying to
talk to
say.
us.
So talk to us. Anyway,
Right,
say
you
this
know.
because that segues into this.
Yeah,
We are going to be talking, of course, about the things that we resonate with, but there are so many different types, you know what I'm saying, of childhood traumas. So if there's any other brave souls out there, if you are willing to come on, you know what I'm saying, to as a spoken guest, or if you're willing to share your story, please give us a, hit us up. I'm gonna put all our information and all that good stuff, at the end. But we want you guys to share your stories too. You see what I'm saying? Like your voice matters. You know what I mean? And maybe this can be a formal way for you to heal yourself. Because I know
right.
starting this platform is what did that for me. You know what I'm saying? Telling my story, and it just segued into a whole bunch of just cosmic abundance and peace. Like I am truly on my path to being my highest self. And it's because I just stepped out on faith and decided to put myself out there. So again, I'm not telling you to just come on here and tell all your business now. We ain't asking you to do all that. But you know what I mean, if you are comfortable with sharing your story, hit us up, you know what I'm saying, and we'll have you on a segment. We'll talk about specifically about that, your type of experience. Okay. And also I'll start putting the number up there and we can start having some people call in. You know what I'm saying? If you have thoughts. So, because sometimes, because we're streaming on 4 different places. So, there may be some people who are, a little bit more talkative and you can't get everything out on your typing. I understand. So we're gonna have a number ready for you guys on our next episode for you to call in. All right. So anything else that you guys ladies want to add before I start promoting y'all and telling the world what y'all got going on?
I want to send all of my love and energy to everybody, okay? Everybody who
All right, we're
has
gonna
seen it,
grab that.
everybody who was
Grab
tuned
that.
in,
Take
and
that.
everybody who's tuned in, logged off, someone who may watch it 5 months from now. I'm sending timeless energy, abundance of energy, and love and light. I'm helping you clear out any thoughts of negativity or hurt, past trauma that you may be feeling right now from this conversation. I really love everybody to the fullest. All smiles.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm taking all of that. I'm gonna take all
Look,
that.
I love y'all seriously.
Okay,
So
well,
yeah,
since
that's
you
dope.
started that off, talk about what you do. Since you said, go on right ahead and tell them what you do.
Again, my name is Misha Miles, and I'm a Reiki practitioner. I've been doing Reiki work since I was a child, basically subconsciously, just by sending energy to ambulances that was passing by, sending healing energy to friends and families that was grieving. But I consciously became aware of what I was like 2 years ago. So I have a business downtown Lexington where I do healing work, energy work with people, spiritual guidance. I do a little tarot, but my main practice is energy alchemy. And so helping you transmute the low energy, the trauma, the pain, physical pain, emotional pain, mental fogginess, helping clear all of that out, getting you to the highest energy, highest vibration, highest form of yourself, getting you closer to your ascension and your Christ-like consciousness, your highest form. So however you want to take that, I just basically take your low energy, move it out the way, put love in there.
All right. Move it out the way and put love in there. I like it. All
Yeah.
right. Tell them about your. No, that's not what I wanted to do.
There we
It's
go.
not
Shaking me
what
out of
I wanted to do.
here.
That's what I wanted to do. Go on, tell them about yourself, girl.
Hi, I'm Taquita. So I consider myself a spiritual counselor. I have been doing tarot for like the last 4 or 5 years. I'm highly intuitive, medium, working on my mediumship as well. But I have a YouTube called, you can search me by my name, Taquita Parker. The name of my channel is Scorpio Sun. I do readings on there all the time. You can hit me up on my email, Scorpio2Sun2. That's Scorpio, the number 2, sun, the number 2 at gmail.com if you're interested in like a personal session with me. Also, I have a Facebook called Scorpio Sun as well. I am soon to start a new channel on YouTube. In the new channel, I'm going to be doing tarot, but I'm also going to be having, lives where I'm going on there and talking about different subjects in regards to relationships and dating and navigating that for single women. And just other things and topics concerning spirituality. So it's going to be a lot of stuff on there. So I would love for you to join me on there. Once I get the more information and get that kind of rolling, I definitely will be putting that out there on this platform to let you all know so you can follow me there. So yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
All right, let's not make that mistake again. Okay, here we go. All right, well, of course, you guys know me, and I got pictures to go along with my little spiel. So hold on, give me a second. There we go. All right, so I am your host, Plump Queen, and we are launching Amspire Media Network in April. All right, got the new business cards. I'm excited. Had on a t-shirt today. So this channel is going to be for us. It's going to be FUBU. It's going to be for us and by us. This is a place where we are going to express inspiration through several different ways, through media, through coaching, through the music arts. This is going to be a space where we are not censored. And I'm actually going to do a show about that so I can truly let you know what I mean by not being censored. But this is going to be an amazing place where we can express ourselves and we can navigate. We control the narrative. Black owned, black operated, you know what I'm saying, with just a sprinkle of love for everyone. Okay, so if you are interested in putting your content on our channel, please give me a call or hit me up either on my link tree, my email, my phone, whichever one of these situations you would like, hit me up. If you are a business that would like to have advertising on our channel, please look me up as well. And if you just can't write that down, I'm going to put this up for 9 seconds. This is my digital business card. You can scan that right now if you would like, so you can make sure you always get, what I'm saying, this inspiration. All right. Now, like you were saying, Miss Misha, about us having, spaces, where people can vent and where people can express themselves. So I have been thinking about that as well. So I'm going to be starting a service called a Helping Hand Talk Therapy Service. That I have about 100 people in my inbox right now, what I'm saying, mostly from the amputee community who try to ask me questions, who honestly just want me to give them time because they don't have a support system, what I'm saying, like I did or like a lot of other people do. And, some people just want to talk. Some people just need somebody to, to listen to them. And, they're not comfortable with getting on platforms like this and, making phone calling in and things of that nature. So I want to provide a service, what I'm saying, where I can accommodate those type of people because, healing comes in different forms and everybody goes through their process differently. So I want to create, like I said, create those spaces, I'm saying, where people are comfortable and can come and heal. So a Helping Hand Talk Therapy service will be coming up really soon, most likely in April, but I'm not sure. I might have to tweak that because I got to make sure that's right. Okay, so but make sure you guys look out for that. Also, I'm going to be getting into the NFT space, I'm saying, dealing with amputees. So I'm going to be making amputee inspired NFTs. I was an art major, I'm saying, that was my first love. So I am using all of the talents that the universe gives me and I'm going to use it to inspire y'all. I promise. Okay, so make sure you guys look out for that. And of course, every Saturday you see us, what I'm saying, on Saturday Risings. This was a special, what I'm saying, lunch edition. But y'all gonna be having us for breakfast, what I'm saying, from now on. Soul Therapy Childhood Trauma. You can catch us on Facebook. You can catch us on YouTube. You can catch us on Twitch. You can even watch us on Twitter. Okay. And if you're a podcast type person who just likes to listen, you can also find us on Anchor, which streams to Spotify and Google Podcasts and all those great places. So you will never ever miss, what I'm saying, this therapy. And then also on Sundays, which is tomorrow, Sunday nights, with 33 Master Teacher, my cousin. She is a tarot reader, and we get into more into depth into spirituality, and she definitely does general readings, what I'm saying, and pick card situations, what I'm saying, to get y'all some energy and get y'all some messages and whatnot. But we are making the weekends all about healing, what I'm saying, and growing. Okay? So That is all that I have for you guys. We love, love, love you. Appreciate y'all being here and being brave and listening and doing your due diligence to start your healing journey. So, y'all be great. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Love you, ladies. And we're going to see y'all next
Love.
Bye.
time. Bye.